Hi everyone. Um, I thought a lot um, before posting this video. I didn't know whether it would be worth it because I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on it, and hate is something that I cannot go through right now. But I'm gonna do the best to bear with it. So what I'm gonna talk to you about, what I'm gonna talk to you guys about today is bullying and an acceptance by the families and my suicide story. My kind of like, I'm gonna go through my whole life so that hopefully I can hopefully move on from this phase in my life and create like awareness to what's going on um, to trans girls, trans guys, because I don't feel like, we got Caitlyn Jenner right now, which is doing an awesome job, you know, creating creating a visual effect and a mental effect on society in the way that people think, because she had such a positive reaction when she came out as transgendered. And I'm really proud that at that age she was able to just not care and just go through, you know, all of the hate that she goes through every single day and create awareness for the people who, go through the same things as she does and as I do, which is what I'm going to do right now. So, first of all, Um, I didn't know I was trans since I was born because you know that when you are born, when you live in the place where I didn't even know was what a transgender was till I was 16. I had no clue what a transgender was. And I was kind of molded. My mind was kind of molded and morphed with the way that people think here and the way that society thinks here. I'm from Portugal, um, which is a country. It's kind of neutral, in the world, but it's not neutral in bullying. It's actually pretty severe. Things are getting pretty severe here. But anyways, I always felt like something was off with me. Like people never saw me as one of them. I never got many friends in school growing up. I was always kind of a lonely person. I had a couple friends, not gonna lie, and my biggest mistake as a child was that I was always trying too hard to fit in. I know that a lot of people do this, but I took it to the next level. I would change myself so much that at a certain point I didn't know who I was anymore. That's how bad it was because I got to a point where I was thinking, who am I? Who am I? What is my real personality? And that kind of broke me a little bit down. That was like, I got therapy. I've always struggled with depression most of my life. I started taking medication at the age of 13. And I used to take up to 13 pills a day because I needed to stay calm and I needed to, because my biggest problem is anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety, and that's my biggest issue. But right now, that's not my biggest issue. My biggest issue is really my depression. And, I don't really. My dad growing up, my dad was never there. It's not. I mean, I don't have a relationship with him right now. He lives in this house, so this is his house. So obviously he lives here. But I never really got a relationship with him. If you feel me, he would beat me up. I would go to school with my face swollen and scratched, and various places in my body bleeding and swollen. And I always saw him as this giant monster. I never really saw him as a person. I always saw him, I never thought of of the, I never thought he had feelings, you know? So I always seen him as this giant monster who would beat me up and who hated me. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why. And I think I start to know why. I mean, he's an asshole, but I think it was because I was so feminine growing up that he was afraid of me becoming what I am now, you know. So he would beat me up and trying to man me up and stuff like that to morph me into something that I was not, which is something that you shouldn't do with your child. You should let your child bloom and blossom by him or herself and not change him into something that he's not. And I've always suffered bullying all my life since elementary, middle school, even in high school. I didn't finish high school. You know, I failed my first year in middle school. It was my ninth year. I didn't I failed it because I was so depressed and I was so anxious about everything in life, and I just failed it. So I went back the next year feeling like shit because I had to repeat everything and see people that I did not want to see. All my friends were in a different school, um, and I had to watch them, you know, going through and moving on with their lives. Sorry, moving on with their lives, and um, well, I was still in that school, and they would make fun of me because of that. So people always pushed me away. I don't have a lot of friends right now. And when I went to high school, I thought, this is a fresh start for me. This is a fresh start. I'm going to make friends. I'm going to move on with life. And in the beginning of the year, I was so happy and I was so excited about school, you know, and meeting new people and getting new classes and stuff like that. I was so excited. I remember I was so happy because I was like, I was so proud of myself. And in the end of the year, I gave up. I stopped going because I was depressed again. And I started feeling shit. There it is. Again. Fucking second time. Here it fucking is. And I'm gonna have to come back next year and do all this shit again. But there's something in our country um, that is called um, it's basically a center from the government that gives you school. They pay you the transportation. They pay you food. You know, they give you money. They give you scholarships, and there's also like jobs in there like that you can do to get money. And after that I went to the hairdressing school. I went to hairdressing school. It was free because it was from the government. So I was, you can see how excited I was. You can imagine. Oh, before that, the summer before that, because I signed up before starting to transition. It was a few months before starting to transition. And I was so nervous because at that time because I always struggled with anxiety, like I told you. So before that, I was so excited and I was nervous at the same time because I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this because the worst flaw that I have is I always think less for myself. I always think less of myself. I always think I look so disgusting. You know, I don't need other people to tell me because I always think I look so disgusting. I look so shitty. I'm so ugly. I fail at everything. I suck. My life sucks. I'm a very negative person in general. So it's really hard to be around me. Maybe that's not why I have so many friends. But, like I told you, I found out what a transgender was at 16. In the summer, I signed up for the hairdressing school in the summer, the beginning of the summer. Fuck no. What the hell is going on? Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna cut that part out, or I'm not gonna start over because I need to keep going. Okay, sorry. So I started transitioning in the summer because I signed up in the beginning of the summer. So I started transitioning in the middle of the summer after signing up. So I started wearing makeup, experimenting with makeup. Actually, in the winter, I tried eyeliner, and I was like, oh my god, it looks so good. So I kind of in the summer kind of expanded that. I started wearing eyeshadows. I started wearing eyeliner, a little bit of lipstick. I was very confident, and when I started school, I was crazy because, and another thing, if you see a transgender person and that trans person is crazy, don't judge them because they may started transitioning now and they're thinking I'm gonna rule the world. I look fucking sickening. I'm gonna be the best trans. I'm gonna look beautiful and I'm gonna be amazing. My life's gonna be, that person maybe is just excited, and that's how I was. I was so crazy. I wore tons of makeup, red bright lipstick, and I look good. I'm not gonna lie, I looked good. But after that, I went to the school and people would make so much. People from my class they wouldn't make fun of me, like they wouldn't bully me directly, but they would kind of humiliate me, kind of ask me questions in order to humiliate me. And I didn't understand it because I was so focused on being myself that I didn't care. I was so happy. I was like, this is it. I'm starting my life. This is it. This is it. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna work after this. I'm gonna reach my goals and I'm gonna do everything that I want to do. But through the year, because it was not just hairdressing and those kind of things in that center where I was studying. You had men working in building, construction. You had men working in, being a plumber. Plumber, is that how you say it? And you know, I I went through a lot of bullying there. Really harsh bullying. Harsh bullying. People would follow me. People would go after me and try to intimidate me and making fun of me, and I didn't even know them. I didn't even know why that was happening. And from the beginning of the year towards the end, I kind of lost all my confidence. So I gave up, and everybody around me didn't really get what was going on. They were like, "Oh, here you go again. You're gonna give up again. You're gonna be a loser." People um, instead of giving me comfort and comfort me and be like, it's okay, you didn't get it this time. Because I was almost in the end. I had great grades in the hairdressing school. I had great, great um, grades. So people will be like, why did you have? Because I started going out a lot on the end before quitting. I started going out. I started doing drugs. I started drinking every single day, getting blackout drunk every single day. And people were just thinking I wanted to give up because I was lazy and I didn't want to do anything. People weren't believing that I was sick. People were just thinking, oh, you're just doing that because you don't want to study. You don't like school, so that's why you're doing that. And it was not, it was not at all. I was actually enjoying being there. I just couldn't anymore. My confidence was shattered. My mind was dead. I was dead inside. And, you know, after quitting, I haven't left the house in 5 months. I haven't set foot out of this house, this apartment, this small ass apartment, in 5 months because I can't face people. Because people are so mean to me in the street, and I go out and I just try to be a normal person and just do what everybody else is doing, which is living my life. And bullies are keeping me from doing that. I don't know any of them. I didn't do anything to them. And they still keep destroying my life. And moving on from that, um, I was in 2 mental hospitals for suicide attempts because there's not one day where I don't have suicidal thoughts. I think about it every day. I think about doing it every single day. Even though you might say that's bullshit because I'm still alive, and if I think about committing suicide every day, why am I not locked up in a hospital, or why am I not dead already and you know the thing is, my mom always catches me when I'm trying anything. My mom always knows something is wrong. She always knows. So I have a great mom. We fight a lot, but she's great. I love her so much, and she's everything in my life. And the first time I tried to commit suicide, I was 17. I slit my wrists open, and I took a bunch of pills so that I made sure that I would die. Because I didn't want to just try one thing and fail at it. I wanted to make sure that I was dead. So I slit my wrists, took pills, and went to sleep, bleeding. My mom caught me. She took me to the hospital by foot. I was starting to get dizzy from the pills, and my mom took band-aid, like some bandages, and put them around my wrists, and she took me to the hospital. She called the hospital saying that I was going there, so it would be quicker to sign in. And I got there, and I got to, the psychiatrist part of the hospital wasn't running anymore because it was like 3 a.m. So they had to send me to the capital. Is it capital that you say? I don't know. So they sent me to Lisbon, which is the main city of Portugal. And I went on an ambulance. I went there, and they tried to talk me out of it, but I was so sure of what I wanted that I started making fun of them. I went crazy. I smoked inside the hospital. I yelled, I screamed, I cried. I did a lot of things. And they put me in the hospital there, which is for minors, for younger people. It was not like a general it was not like a general mental hospital. It was like for kids, kind of. So I was 17, almost an adult. And I was like, I'm 19 now. And they put me there, and I was like, I woke up the next day in a hospital bed with my all my wrists bandaged up, and I was so confused. I really honestly didn't know where it was. In the beginning, I didn't know where I was because I was like, what is happening? Like, I couldn't even speak because of the medication that they gave me. The pills didn't do anything, by the way. So they just gave me more to fall asleep. They were like, he's fine, there's nothing wrong, so he's going to sleep. Because I wasn't transitioning yet. Uh, there at that point. Um, I only started transitioning this year. So they gave me this medication. I fell asleep, and I woke up the next day really confused. And the time there, it was just 4 days. Although it was just 4 days, because I was like, I need to get out of here. Even if I need to act that I'm fine and that I'm great, I need to get out of here because it was living hell. It was like prison there. You couldn't do anything. You didn't have music. You couldn't have music headphones. You didn't have television. You could only read books or write, and you didn't have anything else to keep you occupied. Nothing. And the food sucked. So, fuck that. The second time it was here in my city, I tried to commit suicide again. And I went there by myself. I went to the hospital by myself. It was in the middle of the hairdressing school. I went to the hospital by myself, and um because I was so sad, because after I tried it, I was like, I started thinking of my mom and how she would feel, and I just went there. And the doctor it was not my regular doctor that I go to get therapy. It was another doctor, and she put me there. And I got out the next day. It was just one day, one night there, and I got out the next night. And I woke up the next day and I went to school like nothing happened. Actually, I got out there in the morning. So I got home, took a shower, got ready, and got to school, and nobody knew where I was. I didn't tell anyone. Only my mom knew where I was. Basically, I didn't tell my friends, no one. I didn't tell no one what happened. And I basically just want to give, awareness to any transgender people out there, because it is not, if you don't like someone, or if you don't accept their lifestyle, or their life, you don't accept it. That's fine, but you shouldn't really respect it. Imagine if that was you. Because I know there are a lot of people like me who don't cry easily, who don't show emotions easily, and they go out invisible because people don't know what they're going through, because they're not such a big crier, and they don't cry all the time. And gosh, like, I go through so much. Like, if I went out, I would get so much bullying, and people bully me so much. Like, I just go out, I try to just drink a coffee or play some pool because I'm a gamer, so I love every kind of game, even if it's like a real life game, like pool or darts or like racing. I like every kind of game. So even if it's a game like that, I don't care. I love all the games. So sorry, English is not my first language. uh, so what was I talking about? I went out to play pool, and when I was getting home, it was like what, like 4 a.m. because we played pool like almost all the night. And when I was getting home, someone yelled, "Faggot, go take it up the butt." And I was like, I didn't say anything. I just kept walking. But a thing like that, like listening to that, I was like, this is what I get by going out. Like, I didn't go out for like 5 months. I go out one day, and this is what I get. And on that same day before going to the pool at night, it was probably like 8 o'clock. in the night, like after dinner. I was just drinking some beer with a few friends, and on the there was this man on the on the coffee shop there with us, and he was like, because he was talking about me, and he was trying to get me to listen his his disgusting conversation, and he was like, um oh, is that a boy or a girl? And my friend stepped in and she said, she's a girl, she's transgendered, because that guy was like uncle of one of our friends, and I didn't know who he was, but my friend knew who he was, and he was like, I don't think that you're being a good person right now. I think that you're not doing really something that should be done. And he was like, yeah, you're right, you're right, I'm sorry, if she wants to be my friend, I'll be her friend. And then she went out of the coffee shop, got into a car, and then she passed out by the car and started whistling at me. And that's not even one of the worst things that I've gone through. You know, I've gone through so much worse. But that's just to show you that I was so strong, and bullying kind of destroyed me. Bullying destroyed my life. I'm a streamer. I don't work, but I'm a streamer on Twitch. Um, because I'm not really a big worker. I'm more like, I feel like I'm kind of like an artist. I want to entertain people, and I want to do something else with my life, which is not spending my whole day in a salon doing perms and stuff like that. You know, even though I'm good at it, I don't want that to be my life. And this video was just made to raise awareness to all the trans people out there, because I want them to feel like they're not alone. Um, and I want them to feel like there's someone who understands, because I never got that, and I want to give that to people. So I just want I just want to be happy. You know, that's all I want. I don't want greater things. I just want happiness. You know, I just want peace and happiness, and I just want to be respected. That's all I want. That's all I ever wanted. And that's probably what almost every transgender wants, is being respected and having a normal life like you do. Like like you have for granted, because you have a normal life for granted. We don't. We have to make our lives. We have to get strong and go through things that you will never go through in your whole life. So that's kind of the message that I wanted to pass out there. I know it's a long ass video, but if you stick till the end, I want to say thank you so much for watching. And if you want to support me, you can follow me on Twitch. I'll leave the link in the description. And thank you so much for watching, and share this with your friends so that it can go as far away as it can. Because I want people to understand that bullying someone is not cool, and it's not something that makes you cooler. It makes you an asshole, and you can destroy someone's life like that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you maybe later. Maybe I'll do some more videos later about topics that I want to express my opinion on. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.